Right. We are doing our very first live stream ever. I have no idea how this is going to go, but we're going to try it out with Microsoft Flight Sim today. We're going to introduce a little bit of ForeFlight with tracking of our flight today using flight events and ForeFlight. And we're going to just do a couple of laps around the traffic pattern here for my first live stream and just see how things go. We're going to use Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 today. We're going to fly the Cessna 172. This is flying out of India 68, I-68 in Lebanon, Ohio. That's Warren County, Ohio, John Lane Field. This is my home airport where I have recently started working toward my PPL. And I flew this morning, as a matter of fact. I'm learning in a tailwheel, a Citabria 615 Juliet Sierra. It is quite an experience learning in a tailwheel, learning to do the rudder dance. But soon I will be flying in the 172. I'm just over 11 hours toward my PPL and getting ready to do my first solo flight here in the near future. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing rolling a little bit. Try to get my music. It's just a little loud here. Not sure why it's quite so loud. See if we can bring it down a notch here. For whatever reason, it wants to creep up on me a little bit. But anyway, we're going to get ready to fly. And what we may do is actually just kill the music here, just because it's a little bit annoying for me. So we'll go ahead and mute that input. All right, so we're going to fly the G1000 model here today. I'll see if I can't reset that and get my... There we go. Toggle these yokes off here real quick. And we should be able to go ahead and turn the beacon light on. Get our master switches on.
System test. Okay.
Oops, there we go. Check our fuel switch, which should be already in. Mixture is full rich. Push the throttle in, pull the throttle back out. Crack it just a little bit. Go ahead and turn on our nav light, strobe light. Get our key going here. Alright, and we do have a start. Go ahead and get our avionics turned on here. Parking brake is set. Wait for our G1000 to come all the way up here. Oh, I think we're going to have to do this. Continue. There we go. Alright, and let's back out here. Lean her out just a little bit while we're on the ground here. Take a look on the outside. Clear all around. So I flew out of here this morning. I didn't check the winds here, but let's take a quick look. Let's pull up ForeFlight here. Take a quick gander at the weather. Winds are 170 at 12, so we are going to still go off at runway 19. So winds have definitely picked up a little bit since I flew this morning. This morning they were at 110 at 5, but it's later in the evening, so we'll see how things go here. All right, go ahead and disengage our parking brake. Give her a little throttle. We'll taxi out here. Make our radio call. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, taxiing to runway 19, Warren County. We're going to skip the run up here for this first live stream, just because I've never done this before, and I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to fly a couple laps around the pattern, and with any luck, I'll be able to figure this streaming thing out here before too long, and see where we go from there. So Warren County Airport here, the runway is at basically 900 feet, 898 feet. So pattern altitude at Warren County is 1,000 feet above ground, or AGL. So that'll make our pattern altitude here today at 1,900. And I'm a little fast there on the taxi. Whole lot of stuff to figure out here as we start figuring out live streams. It's the first time I've ever live streamed a game, ever. I do live streaming at our church, and I run that using vMix. Here I'm currently using OBS. And I just enjoy flying, and thought the more I've researched this, I just thought, hey, I would try doing a little live stream and see where it goes. I enjoy watching other people's YouTube channels. There's several people that I follow and people on Discord that I've watched as I've learned a lot of my stuff. So we're going to look down the runway here. It looks clear. We're going to take a look to our left. Final looks clear. I've not heard anything on the radio. We'll go ahead and make our radio call here. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, departing runway 19, remaining in the pattern, Warren County. All right, so we'll go ahead and mixture full rich. Go flaps down 10. One notch of flaps. Probably don't need it, but we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and take the runway here. Final still clear. Runway clear.
Approaching runway 19. Entered runway 19.
I love ForeFlight working with this. And hopefully that's coming in over the live stream. I think it is. Alright. So here we go. Full throttle. Watch our airspeed. Airspeed is alive. So we'll rotate at about 55. There's a rotation speed. Go ahead and rotate. We're up. Tap the brakes. Take a look out over to our right as we see the airport here. Baseball fields over there. There was a soccer tournament and stuff going on over there this morning, so it was quite the crowd here. So we'll try to climb out at about 70 or just a little over. Like I said, pattern altitude here is 1900. And what I have found is the visual landmarks in Microsoft Flight Sim are pretty doggone accurate. So somewhere between 1,400 feet this morning we were climbing really good. We'll go ahead and make our left-hand turn here. This is roughly where we'll turn our crosswind. You'll notice the school there, just to the left there of my cowling. All right, so the runway's there to our left behind us. Take a look to the left. There's a road. There's my visual marker down from my downwind. So we'll go ahead and line her up here. Go ahead and turn downwind. We'll make our radio call here. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning left downwind, runway 19, Warren County. So here we are, 1,600, just shy of our pattern altitude. I'll go ahead and climb. So that road that you see right over the top of my primary display there, dead center, is my visual reference in the real world. We'll keep our climb going. But it did not lift our flaps up there, so we're going to get those up, even though by the time I get them up, it's going to be time to bring them down. So there's 1,900. I'm going to bring the nose down a little bit, pull a little bit of power. So if we can't trim her up a little bit. Take a look to the left. What we look for here is being a beam the numbers. Wings look good and level. To the left, to the right. There we are, beam the numbers. We're going to go ahead and pull our power back. And what we want to do is hold that nose up till we get into our white arc there. And there we come into the white arc. We'll go first notch of flaps there. The pond that you see there, just to my left, right here you should see it. We'll go ahead and turn our base. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning left base, runway 19, Warren County. Runway is there. So we're going to go ahead and bring our second notch of flaps in. Final looks clear. Rate of descent is about 600, 700 feet per minute. Getting ready to go ahead and turn our base, our final. There we are. A little late on that one. Probably still had the same tailwind that I did this morning, which was pushing me on base. We'll go ahead and bring our next notch of flap, last notch of flaps in. See if we can't get her lined up here. I'm not holding that one very steady. Not quite the approach I would hope for, but we're cleaning it up a little bit. Cleaning her up. Flaps are full. Coming in 60 over the numbers. That's about right where we want to be. I have to admit, this is not looking too bad. We'll get a little bit to the right. And we'll transition eyes down the runway now. And see if we can't bleed some airspeed off here. We're back. Whoop, we flared a little high. Up, there we are. A little bit of a bounce. Not quite happy with that. Let's go ahead and go full throttle. We'll go back around again. Bring our flaps up a couple of notches there. Go flaps 10. We'll look for our rotation speed here. 50, 55, and rotate. And we're off. I decided today I'd fly this in the G1000 series. I typically fly the steam gauges, believe it or not, most of the time. Climbing out here looking good. Don't know if you guys can see our pattern there on ForeFlight, what we look like on this last go by. We will look there. All right, 1300. School's to our left. We'll go ahead and turn our crosswind here. There we go. Look to our left. There's the runway. Continue our climb. Go ahead and turn our downwind leg here. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning left downwind, runway 19, Warren County. I can see my road there, so go ahead and continue our climb. That nose back up on the horizon. $1,700. And here we go. We'll go ahead and level her out. There's 1900. Pull a little bit of power out. Take a look, see where we are on the runway. We're midfield right now on the left downwind. We're holding our 1900. We get a beam the numbers here. We'll go ahead and pull the power. You see that pond just off the left of my nose there? That's our visual marker here. So here's a beam the numbers. We'll go ahead and pull the power. And we're going to hold the nose up, wait to get in that white arc. All right, there we are. We'll go first notch of flaps here. And we'll get ready to turn our base. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning left base, runway 19, Warren County. Let's go ahead and make that left base turn here. We'll roll out of that. Take a look to the right. Final looks clear. To the left is our runway. We'll bring in our next notch of flaps. We'll go ahead and turn our final. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning final, runway 19. That was a little aggressive there. Go ahead and bring our last notch of flaps in.
500.
Power is all the way out. Runway is made. Went a little fast. A little fast and a little long. Alright, go ahead and go around. There's 55, 60, rotate, and we're back out. Tap the brakes. Positive brake. Flaps are all the way up. Try this pattern one more time here. We're up on the horizon. Climbing out at about 70. Typically we'll turn that crosswind leg at about 1,300 feet. The school there you can see to the left is usually my marker. Alright, so we'll go ahead and roll our crosswind here. That nose up on the horizon. And we'll roll her out here. There we are. Look over our left shoulder. Things look good. There's our marker. We'll go ahead and turn our downwind leg now. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning left downwind, runway 19, Warren County. Up on our downwind leg. That nose up on the horizon, still climbing. Okay, 1850. Almost there at 1900. And there we are. Pull a little bit of power back. Drop the nose down a little bit. There's a view of the runway flying parallel. My house just over there. We climbed a little bit there, and there's a beam of the numbers. We'll go ahead and pull the power here. We'll hold the nose up, get our airspeed down. Keeping that nose up, keeping the nose up. There's 80. We'll bring in our first notch of flaps here. So we went a little bit long on that one. Might wait just a little bit before we turn our base leg there. I turned the base leg just a little soon last time. Alright, now we'll go ahead and turn our base. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning left base, runway 19, Warren County. Descending at about 550 feet per minute. It's looking pretty good. Final looks clear. Nothing on the radio right now. Then turn our final. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning final, runway 19, Warren County.
500.
There we go, 500 feet, and that's right about where I would want to hear that. And that aligns with what it is like in the real world. This tree pattern and everything that you see. We'll go ahead and bring our last notch of flaps in. Pull the power all the way out. I had given it just a little bit more there, but we've got the runway made now. A little slow, but we're okay. Should be coming across the numbers at about 60, and we're going to be coming across at about 54, 53. Nice. We set her down right on the stall horn that time. All right, we'll take one more lap. Bring our flaps up to 10. And we'll rotate. Tap the brakes. Positive rate, we'll bring our flaps in. Nose will drop just a little bit, I'll pull her back up. There we are, right at 70. Try to trim her just a little bit for that. Okay. And here we are at 1300. We'll go ahead and turn our crosswind leg. Good. Wing attitude looks good. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn our base leg here. Or not base leg, but our downwind. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning downwind, runway 19, Warren County. 100 feet to go on the altitude for the pattern. There we are at 1850. We're going to get there early this time. There's 1900. We'll pull some power back here, bring our RPMs down, lower our nose, and try to stop our climb here. Look to our left, we're getting close to beam the numbers. Alright, here we are, beam the numbers. Pull some power. Alright, now let's see if we can't bring her in. Hold the nose up a little bit. There's 80. We'll bring in our first notch of flaps. I know this is different probably than what a lot of you that's flying the 172 are learning. I'm doing this on a tail dragger, Citabria, as I said before. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, turning left base, runway 19, Warren County. The Citabria does not have flaps. So I'm learning to fly the tail dragger, and the thing we do, we pull power at the beam the numbers, and we pitch for 70. And it's in 70 miles per hour, not knots. We'll go ahead and bring our second notch flaps in here. Get ready to go ahead and turn our final.
500.
There's 500. We're good there. Bring just a touch of power.
Short final runway 19.
Bring in our last notch of flaps. So I don't have that luxury of extending the flaps like I do in this plane to get our nose pushed over. But as I understand, I will be transitioning to a Cessna at some point, but I'm going to solo actually in the Citabria. At least that's the plan. Bring power back a little bit. We should cross the numbers this time around 60. Power's out. Runway's made. We set her down. All right. We'll go ahead and get off here. It's a few laps in the pattern. We'll take a look here. About 4 laps. We'll go ahead and exit the runway here. Warren County traffic, Cessna 716 Delta Mike, clear runway 19, Warren County. Okay. Go ahead and bring our flaps in, clean the plane up a little bit. Go back in here. Take a look down here. We'll lean the mixture a little bit for ground operations. And we'll taxi her back. Not too bad. Definitely had more consistent patterns. So I like to fly this on Pilot Edge. Pilot Edge doesn't service this area of the country where I live, but may jump back on a little bit later this evening after I've had a chance to eat a bite and do a few laps at Centennial Airport in Centennial, Colorado, which is on the southeast side of Denver. It is a Class D, Class Delta airport, towered, and we'll call up ATC and we'll get our clearance and we'll get taxi instructions and we'll fly some laps there in the pattern, and seeing how that goes, we may actually cruise up from there to Colorado Springs or down to Colorado Springs, maybe take a loop around Garden of the Gods or somewhere, or we'll cruise north and land at one of the other airports there in the area. So see how that goes later this evening. I'm tempted to do it here. I just wanted to get a test in with this and see how all that went. So let's go ahead and kill our avionics. And we'll go ahead and finish shutting down the plane. I forgot my lights on that takeoff, so you guys can give me a hard time with that if you like. Duly noted. We run a checklist most days. Or not most days, we run a checklist when I'm flying in the real world, and we need to actually be sure we're covering that here in this to keep up our proficiency. So, all right, we will call that a successful first stream ever. Thanks for joining us, and I will check back a little bit later tonight if you're interested. It's pretty neat to get on Pilot Edge. So I'll get on Pilot Edge this evening and call up ATC and we'll give it some flying around there. And until then, thanks for joining us.